there was a recent rumor that perhaps Gears of War E-Day would be a game that comes to PlayStation, and there's a lot of reasons why people think this. I know there was rumors about a potential Gears of War collection going to PlayStation. To me, that didn't really make much sense. I mean, there was a possibility, I guess, but the real money for Microsoft, I believe, would be having a current multiplayer Gears of War game, right? So what I mean by that is the reason why you release, say, like a Sea of Thieves is because you want people to play the multiplayer portion. You know, it's a multiplayer game. You get Xbox, you get PC, you get PlayStation. Everybody's kind of playing that game. So when you look at something like Halo or Gears of War, it would never make sense to put Halo, the Master Chief Collection, on PlayStation. You might sell a few million copies, that's true, but that multiplayer has no way of making money for you, right? And it's a very kind of dead multiplayer on Xbox, dead multiplayer on PC, so it wouldn't make sense. Same thing with Gears of War. Gears of War 5, you know, there's not really a ton of people on that game. You know, Gears of War Ultimate Collection, I don't think there's anybody on that game. But, you know, when we look at this, so it would make sense to release a game that is, you know, the newest one. That way you get a bigger install base day one. So it really kind of makes sense to do that. Now, a lot of people are talking about Gears of War E-Day, myself included. I'm a big Gears of War fan. There were rumors that Gears of War was a game that was in talks to be put on PlayStation 5. And recently, Matt Booty was talking about multi-platform releases and how they're pleased with Sea of Thieves on PS5. You know, that's not something that I think Xbox fans should be particularly happy about. I'm going to get into why here in just a second, but you know, at the end of the day, every game that was successful for Xbox on the PlayStation side is a potential nail in the coffin for Xbox itself. So that's very much a situation where I'm kind of rooting against them to do it. You know, some of the, you know, I'm not saying everything is bad or everything is this or everything is that. What I'm saying is, you know, it makes sense to have exclusive games and to be upfront about your fans what's going to happen in the future. So that's at least from my particular point of view. I want to hear your guys' opinions, of course. Obviously, E-Day would be like a prequel. So if they were going to put something on PlayStation, why not start from ground zero? You know what I mean? Like, that could be the place to start. With that being said, there was a new interview with Matt Booty, and he was discussing a lot of recent gaming business decisions, including the big summer showcase. Naturally, the conversation moved towards Xbox's multi-platform release and how that strategy shift is going. As you'd expect, they're quite happy with how things are performing so far, especially Sea of Thieves, which the team has been really pleased about. Early reviews for the PS5 version of Xbox's Pirate Adventure are very good, and the game has since stormed the PlayStation charts, resulting in a player boost across all platforms. You know, again, that's probably not what you want to hear if you're an Xbox fan. But anyway, moving on from Sea of Thieves for a minute, Matt Booty also says that Xbox's future multi-platform business will be done individually on a case-by-case basis, which is sort of what head of Xbox Phil Spencer said last year. Of course, we're seeing that very strategy play out now with Doom: The Dark Ages getting revealed as a simultaneous launch on Xbox and PlayStation. It doesn't mean that Xbox console exclusives are going away completely, though. The vast majority of the team's big announcements at the Xbox Game Showcase were only announced for Xbox and PC and Game Pass, something Booty's team says is absolutely committed to moving forward. But he also, unfortunately, said launch exclusives is something that he mentioned. So when I look at that and I hear, okay, well, launch exclusive, you do sort of, you know, kind of say, well, you know, that's sort of an unfortunate way to put things, or maybe it is a very telling way to put things, as games are probably going to launch there and then eventually go elsewhere. You know, I honestly, for me as a fan, I'm kind of sitting back and I'm just going, you know, that's kind of crappy, you know. But here's the thing, right? We all have this line, I believe, that we kind of draw, you know, in the sand. Some people it might be Starfield, some people it might be something else. For me personally, I think it's like Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable. It's like the true Xbox first party stuff, right? I can sit there and go, well, Sea of Thieves, like that was the biggest thing. You can at least maybe come up with a reason for that, but it's like, especially, even stuff like State of Decay, people go, oh, well, wouldn't that benefit being on multiple things? That's never been on multiple things. So, I kind of disagree with that statement. With that being said, Gears of War going to PlayStation, there is that rumor there, but even according to places like Tom Moore, and I think maybe Microsoft were thinking a little bit better of it more recently, due to the fact that you have to realize that the Xbox has sort of an identity. Yeah, there's maybe not a lot of people outside of a certain space, that honestly know or maybe care about this stuff, but I think a lot of people do. And when you start taking away the things that define Xbox, I think that really kind of leaves Xbox in a bad spot, so to speak. So, I do think that it would be very, very bad to release stuff like Halo, Gears, Forza, Fable, all that kind of stuff on anything else. And I'm talking like, Perfect Dark, State of Decay 3. It's like you can maybe make an excuse for the Activision and even the ZeniMax stuff, like going forward. I 100% realize that Elder Scrolls and the next Fallout and Outer Worlds 2 from Obsidian, that all that stuff is going to be on PlayStation. But what should not be on PlayStation is the Avoweds, the Indiana Joneses, the Halos, Gears, Forza, all that kind of stuff should stay on Xbox. And I feel very strongly about that, and just as like I want Nintendo to keep Nintendo stuff on Nintendo, like imagine that. That's crazy, right? At the end of the day, you have to be able to have something there to get people to, buy your platform and a reason to kind of invest in that. And I feel like unless you have something exclusive there, it doesn't really make a whole hell of a lot of sense. Again, we had a really rough year as Xbox fans in 2022, and it sucks even worse when the stuff that you do get, the meager stuff that you got, and all ended up on PlayStation as well. So, you think I'm kidding? Like, that was a year when we got no AAA titles from Microsoft. The little smaller titles that we got, stuff like Pentiment, we got Grounded, the full release. We got, let me think, what else did we get? We didn't get much that year, but everything that we did get ended up on PlayStation that year. So, it's unfortunate, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, this really does kind of suck, but, at the same time, hopefully better days are ahead. And I think that the slap in the face was the fact that, that year, Sony fans got, a new God of War. They got God of War Ragnarok. They've got, Horizon Forbidden West. They got Gran Turismo 7. They got all this stuff that realistically was awesome, and then they ended up with our stuff too. So it really did feel a lot like a kind of a slap in the face. And, at the end of the day, that's crappy. Just as a fan, I just got to say that doesn't make me feel great as an Xbox fan, and it's going to be rough, I think, going forward for a lot of people when, these games are looking and playing better on PlayStation, and like the PS5 Pro and stuff like that, because, as we know, Microsoft isn't really going to be doing a upgraded console this generation. So we're kind of stuck with what we have. I think that the Series X is a powerful console, but at the same time, it's going to be interesting to see if how this kind of works out for the for the Series S and having the least power of the new consoles. I think that's really going to be interesting to see how that works out. So anyway, what do you guys think? Do you guys think that it's true that this game will come to PlayStation, or do you guys think that that's not going to happen and Microsoft is smarter than that and will resist putting it on PlayStation. So let me know down below. I am the Crap Gamer, and this has been Crap Gamer Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and possibly even consider subscribing if you wouldn't mind. Have a great day. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.